It's 9:30. Do you know what time it is? It's time for the Coffee Break Chat with host Mike Bellamy on WICC.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Coffee Break Chat. I am your host, Mike Bellamy. Joining me this morning is State Representative, Republican Tony Hwang, representing the 134th District, Fairfield and Trumbull. Tony, good morning. How you doing? Thanks for coming on the program.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. A lot of things are happening nationally, but it affects us here in Connecticut, and I really wanted to get your thoughts on what's transpiring. Let's start with the federal government shutdown. We're in day 4 today. Your thoughts as a Republican as you view what's happening between the two parties up or down in Washington?
You know, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to kind of share my perspective on it, and I respect that Washington deals with some very serious issues confronting our country: the mounting debt, unemployment, homeland security, the Middle East turmoil, national health care. But I got to be honest with you, Mike, I think our federal government is dysfunctional, and they're really not conducting business on behalf of the interests of the American people. You know, they're truly not representing the interests of the Joes and the Jills in our community, the people that you call in and the people that we are supposed to represent.
We had Congressman Himes on this morning, and it seems every single Democrat, when a microphone is put in front of them, say that it's a faction of the Republican Party, the Tea Party, which, you know, you see some of it here in Connecticut, but not a lot. But in other districts, it is very strong. Do you view it as that? Do you view that a faction of the Republican Party right now has shut down the federal government?
Mike, you know, historically, we've always had dissent, and that's the true essence of the American democracy. And I think the federal legislative leaders, through their actions, through their inability to negotiate and conduct, I think both parties are at fault. And I think both parties have abdicated their duty to the voters that they represent. I mean, I was just having a conversation with my wife, and we had the conversation that Washington is truly behaving like a child, like you know, going through the terrible 2 phases. And there's no adult supervision. And honestly, and as an American, and as a Connecticut resident, and as an elected representative of people that I serve, I'm embarrassed. I mean, this is not an anomaly in our history. We've always had dissent. We've always had debates. But the fact of the matter is, you know, you'll encounter it with your lovely daughter, is the fact when you go through the terrible 2s, there's got to be an adult in the room. And right now, Washington doesn't have an adult. And honestly, Mike, we can do better. And in fact, we need to do better. I mean, there's way too much at risk for us as a country. And I think one of the things that you mentioned earlier is, what are Washington's actions doing to our community as a whole? And I will share with you that as a board member of the Action for Bridgeport Community Development in Bridgeport, ABCD, they run one of the largest Head Start programs in our region. They educate kids, and they provide a safe setting for a lot of our urban disadvantaged youths to get an opportunity to get an education. Those programs are shut. And there are kids that are being impacted. So when we talk about Washington being so far away and sometimes being so detached, as a board member of ABCD, they're closed for business. And what I'm hearing is next week that Sikorsky may furlough workers, and that's going to impact our economy that is already fragile. And when I look at the broader picture, the overall confidence in our government, the confidence that our government is respected and doing the job that it should in our state and internationally, has dwindled. The confidence has dwindled, and that's unacceptable. And ultimately, that will have a negative impact for us moving forward. We can't allow that to happen. There is too much at risk.
We're speaking this morning with Representative Tony Hwang, representing the 134th